Hello everyone, welcome back to Labib's Info Zone. So my today's discussion and today's topic is San Antonio 18-wheeler accident lawyer. So my today's video is on this topic. So stay with me. It should be no surprise that tracking accidents involves 18-wheeler or semi trucks are more serious and usually involve serious injuries. However, what many people fail to understand, including experienced local San Antonio truck accident lawyers, is that these types of accidents are also very complex and legally complicated compared to a regular automobile accident. How are 18-wheeler wreck cases different from car accident cases? There are several factors that make 18-wheeler accidents more complex, including the fact that trucks and many commercial vehicles are much larger and weigh far more than smaller vehicles. This makes them harder to control and more difficult stop to maneuver regular evasive maneuvers that a small car or truck would have no problems with are nearly impossible for an 18-wheeler because of their massive size. When commercial vehicles and trucks crash, injuries are far more serious and often result in death or paralysis. Another factor that makes these cases more complex has to do with the amount of different parties typically involved. There are likely multiple potential defendants and multiple insurance companies involved. This is because the truck or 18 wheeler may be operated by one company while the trailer cargo is the responsibility of another company, etc. These complexities make it much more difficult to assign liability and to get a clear picture of what really caused the accident, which is why it is so important to consider hiring the 18-wheeler accident lawyer if you have been injured in an accident involving an 18-wheeler. Why are the tracking company representatives so aggressive? Many times injured and victims are surprised at how quickly representatives, investigators, or insurance adjusters for the tracking company arrive at the scenes after an 18-wheeler accident. Why are these representatives so aggressive and fast at responding to tracking accidents? Because with insurance policies that provide millions in insurance coverage, the tracking companies and their insurance carriers have a lot to lose if the driver is found at fault for a serious crash. This is why tracking companies and their insurance carriers employ. This is why tracking companies and their insurance carriers employs every tactic they can to protect their driver and their money. If they can manipulate the situation, remove to tamper with evidence and interview witness and influence law enforcement investigators, they can often shift some of the blame to the injured persons, leaving the injured person or their families with expensive medical bills, car repairs, lost wages, and other bills. Tracking companies, insurance companies use their aggressive tactics to reduce the value of the injured person's claim to do completely deny and payment at all. That is why it's so important to get an experienced 18-wheeler accident attorney on someone or the victim's side as quickly as possible after a tracking accident. The tracking company and their team of injury lawyers and investigators start their investigation immediately after the accident, putting the injured persons at an immediately disadvantage. Another reason that someone must have an aggressive tracking accident lawyer working for a quickly is because much the evidence that someone will need to prove the case must be obtained from the tracking company itself. Every hour and every day the passes increases the chance that important evidence will be altered and destroyed or lost. Okay, so the next point is how much is my 18-wheeler accident cost worth? And noted above that 18-wheeler or semi-truck accident cases is very different than typical automobile accident cases. In a semi-truck or 18-wheeler accident, it is likely that someone will be denying dealing with one or more commercial insurance policies. These commercial policies, which are required by law, do not have the same rules as the typical automobile policies someone may be familiar with. For one, these policies have been higher policy limits and typically a minimum $1 million. These limits give some much better chances of having simple insurance coverage to pay for the medical treatment, pain and suffering, lost wages, etc. of a big rig accident victims. Hopefully, someone's injuries will not require victims to utilize the full extent of the insurance policy. However, when it comes to any specific claim, in most instances, no one will be able to tell you what a semi-truck accident claim is worth until it facts that have been gathered. An investigation is platform, liability has been established, and medical treatment is completed. San Antonio 18-wheeler accidents lawyer at our injury law firm have reviewed and evaluated specific cases. Why not placing a price tag on your case right after an accident is a good thing. In understandable if you have to want to know how much your case is worth shortly after your semi-truck accidents, especially when considering the desire of justice, the pressure of the mounting medical bills. But as the time passes, most semi-truck accidents victims are thankful that no one placed dollar amount on their claim initially. This is because of number of factors. Victims may not be aware of the full extent of the injuries immediately or shortly after an accident. The injured partly underestimated the extent and duration of the injuries. The victim didn't anticipate the emotionally toll the accident would have been on the personal life and the lives of their family members. The injuries personnel fail to account for the mental or emotional distress that would occur as a result of the accident. While these are the only few of the many things accident victims may overlook shortly after an 18-wheeler accident, they represent some of the most important aspects for your injury claims. Each of these critical considerations is much more persuasive if presented to an insurance company through documented expert opinion and medical records rather than speculations immediately following an accident. One thing that many injured persons fail to realize is that once they sign the release, they are prevented from any future recovery, regardless of whether or not the settlement adequately compensated and for the claims. Someone should never sign a release before speaking to a Texas or the Texas 18-wheeler accident attorney. This is why it is essential not to place a value of one truck accident claim until after the extent of the injuries have. How long do 18-wheeler accident cases typically take to settle? When it comes to the time frame for settling an 18-wheeler accident cases, there is only one thing that is certain. Patients can prove the invaluable. An 18-wheeler accident attorney who is honest will tell you that the same thing that will tell the clients. There is a simple no way to tell how long your case will take to settle. It is important to remember that the billing someone's cases will take time, and trying to rush into the settlement or make things happen quicker will only harm your claim and will usually decrease the compensation. Okay. How much does it cost to hire a tractor trailer accident lawyer? One truck accident lawyers work on a contingency fee basis. That means that if you were injured in an 18-wheeler accident, you never have to pay us in front of upfront cost of hourly rates. We work on someone's case. The contingent free arrangement is special advantages of victims' personnel. How a San Antonio truck accident attorney can help you, because it's so important to gather crucial evidence soon after the 18-wheeler accident. They start working on building a case that someday they were contracted by an accident victim, and we quickly to preserve evidence that is critical to making sure that the true versions of the accident is true rather than the story that the trucking company owns to all. Texas trucking accident attorneys have the skill and experience. Some also need to help the recover and compensation for the injuries following in serious truck accident. One benefit of hiring the team of experienced 18-wheeler lawyers is that we handle every aspects of someone's claim, which allows the victims to focus to recovering from someone's injury and protecting someone's family's well-being. Investigate the accident, gather crucial evidence negotiate with the trucking company, facilitate the settlement, and in need of take all the way to trial. Primary focus is the victim, the injured person. The fight to ensure that the treated to fairly by the trucking company for their insurance provider. Five major differences between 18-wheeler and auto accidents. One question I get asked a lot is whether or not trucking or the 18-wheeler accidents are different from other ordinary car accidents. It's common misconception to think that all motor vehicles accidents are the same. The injuries are not the same, the law, the insurance are not all the same. But this simply isn't the case because of the sheer size of the weight of 18-wheeler semi-truck. The damage of both people or property are far greater than any other ordinary auto accidents. Five major differences between these types of accidents are greater property damage, more catastrophic injuries, increased chance of fatality, and complex multiple insurance policies.